And now we go to side 2, and the first song is called Rotus Skegbarnar, which translates to the right shoes. The English language version of it, the version that that her poet friends wrote English language versions lyrics for, is called In My Shoes. But anyway, it often takes some time to find your footing inside, a moment of light-footedness, but it can quickly feel heavy to lift your foot ahead. Wait for me, I am near, be patient with me, it often takes a long time to find the right shoes to walk in. This one is kind of a balance of acoustic and electronic. What's interesting is the backing track, the percussion track is basically somebody walking on a wooden floor, which kind of makes me think of a song that otherwise is totally different. The Who, Music Must Change, from Who Are You, where they used Pete Townshend's demo of him walking across the floor to set the beat, and then Keith Moon couldn't play the part on drums, so they just used the demo for the percussion track. But it has a different effect here. And then the next song is as maybe my favorite song on here. Is called Oitokone, which translates to into the mist. One, I think she said, was inspired by something happened in her childhood when she went walking up a mountain near her home and got lost in the fog and found herself wondering if anybody was going to find her, if she was going to be able to find her way back. I guess she was stranded up there for hours or something. And but anyway, walking in the mist, alone in the deep silence, can't see any cairns, gone are all the houses, I call out but no one answers. In between the gaps in the mist-clad night, I sense shadows, seems as though something is moving there, I call out but no one answers me. Friend, can you see me, walking here in the mist? Have you wandered as I have, in the silence deep as death? But from this, and you're going to hear something that she'd been kind of developing live for some years now. There's another song on this album that has this, and that she's actually been performing live for years by the time she recorded this version. She developed a kind of her own little version of throat singing that is used to really cool effect on this song. Another thing that's interesting about her is that she, besides electric and acoustic guitar, she also plays a skin drum. You'll hear a lot more of that on another song. I'm going to play a clip from it too later on. But I think she said she actually wrote most of the songs on this album on the skin drum, which is seems kind of unusual. But anyway, I'm going to play a clip of this song. thing is, I've watched several clips of her doing that song live, and it's the throat singing parts that she tries to get the audience to sing along with every time. I mentioned that that song has a pretty wild video that's shot on the Faroe Islands. Actually, a lot of her videos are shot there. It's a pretty good setting for a music video. It's definitely worth looking at. I'm going to be putting links to relevant music videos and things on these videos I'm making. So kind of, you know, in the description. So kind of be on the lookout for those. So the next song is called Vermoin, which translates to both Be Mine and My World. Let's see, here's some of the lyrics. Well, this is another one I think is from that project, Heart of a Selkie, with lyrics by that other lady, whose name I don't know, but Marjun, I can't pronounce her name. I'm not gonna. Anyway, let's see. Sea and sky intertwine at the brims. Aroused, your hands shiver. I enter your space. Feel who I am. Locked at the chest. Hid the key. Sanctified it against sorcery. The man is now my sea. The night is no more. Spellbound, he embraces me. I become his talisman. Everyone has left, and I am alone. My world, my world, my world, be mine. My skin, my capsule, I do not miss it. My skin, my capsule, I will never forget it. And then the next song is Slor, title song. The song title translates to veil, I think among other words actually. And it was inspired by someone she knew who has Alzheimer's. It says, while a veil lays on seaward windows, while dead time passes in salty gusts, while the morning river swells against its stream, you love me, while stars are still mirrored in glassy eyes of fish, while the new moon shyly swims into the daylight, while men bid their dream friends farewell, you love me. And then the last song is called Trullabunden, which translates more or less as spellbound. It's a song that she actually wrote and originally recorded back in 2004. It was written and recorded soon after she bought her first skin drum, and she basically kind of pounded it out on this skin drum and came up with it kind of on the spot, and it's been a part of her set list ever since. In fact, it's kind of the only song I think from the 2000s that she still performs live, and it's usually basically just her and her skin drum, and it's always amazing, and it's always a little bit different every time she performs it. And at some point along the way, you don't hear it on the original 2004 recording. Somewhere along the way is where she started to incorporate this kind of throat singing kind of thing that she's been doing. And well, I'm going to play a clip of this version of it, so you get a kind of a feel for what it sounds like. And again, even on this version, which is so full of electronic sounds and stuff, it's just her and skin drum. There's some kind of production sound on it, but basically it's just her and her drum, and it's awesome. And this is the way she ends the album. And up next is also Eivor, Bridges. This was released March 13th, 2015. I don't think either one of these albums charted. I ordered this through her own web online shop. It is available on vinyl, but vinyl copies seem to kind of dry up around about the time I had money to buy it, and so I'll end up getting the CD instead. And now I've just looked on here like yesterday, and there are vinyl copies available again on eBay, but I can't buy any right now. And I don't know when I'll be able to buy any more vinyl, so I guess I'm going to have to settle for the CD for now. It and Slur were both written around the same time, and they were recorded more or less back to back. Apparently she was writing songs for it. By this point she'd been writing mostly in English, but I guess she found herself, she said she'd write one song in English and then the next song would just kind of flow out of her in Faroese, and so she split them up and put the Faroese ones on Slur and the English language ones on Bridges. On this album, balance kind of between the acoustic and electronic elements is a lot more favors a lot more the acoustic side, and it's also more quiet, contemplative, somewhat more. So the first song is called "Remember Me." See, let's read the lyrics on this one. Please remember me, don't forget my See, wait a minute. So, will I leave a trace in a corner of your mind? Will you see my face in the flowers that you find? When I'm a drop of rain within the endless sea, will you keep me safe in your heart and in your dreams? Remember me, remember me. That was the single from this album. It's a really good song. The next one is Faithful Friend. Some really good, things in the tune and the melody on this one. My faithful friend, where did you go? I think I forgot to let you know that I am grateful for all those nights when we talked about nothing until the morning light. Losing track of time, you can read my mind. The next song is the title song, Bridges. It's one of my favorites on here. I'll probably play some of this one. When bridges turn to ashes, there is no easy way out of the smoke. Up on a tightrope, you never look down. You have to walk the line on your own. Nothing to hold on to. No one will carry you when you're in the wilderness, when you're lost in the wilderness. Evidence of her work in opera there, I think, a bit. She's kind of dabbled in a bunch of different things, musically speaking, over the years, including opera. Then the next one is called Tides. This is another one where she gave over the lyric writing to another poet friend of hers. I think this woman was is an American, actually. It seemed like I read somewhere she's an American who lives in the Faroe Islands or something. And it also seems to be another song about that the Seal Woman legend. See, 7 moonlit tears I cried, tides collided in my eyes. Waves can wound a moonlit shore, but they can't hurt me anymore. Tangled in my mother's hair, currents comb my bones bare. Her currents swirled through my ribs, spinning seaweed to sulky skin.
Tangled in my mother's hair, currents comb my bones bare. Currents swirl through my ribs, spinning seaweed to
next song is On My Way to Somewhere. It's really great vocal work from Eivor on this one. Very just like kind of soaring vocals. I'll probably play a clip. I'll be playing a clip of this one. I'm on my way to somewhere, I don't know where. I'm on my way to somewhere, I don't know how far. Maybe I'll come running, maybe I will take it slow. Whatever makes me happy, that's what I'll be looking for. I'm on my way to somewhere, I have been walking for so long. I'm on my way to somewhere, this journey's just begun. Still so many miles to go, so many mistakes to be made, so many things I'd like to know. I'm always on my way. And we go to side 2, and the first song may be my favorite song on here, called Morning Song. And it's just about kind of a, I guess you'd call it a dark night of the soul, and then you wake up the next morning and the skies are bright and everything's kind of new again, and all of a sudden everything that was bearing down on you while you're the night before is everything's kind of, clouds have kind of cleared away. It's that kind of song. It's really just a really great song. Last night I crawled into bed with the darkest thoughts in my head. Sometimes my clouded mind holds me down, but it's not who I am. It's not who I am. Morning has finally come. All my worries are undone. Wounded but stronger than before. Morning clears the sky once more. I think this is one of the most comforting songs I've ever heard. And the way she sings the lines, but it's not who I am, and towards the end, I don't ask for more. Anyway.
Last night I crawled into bed, darkest thoughts in my head. Sometimes my clouded mind holds me down, but it's not who I am. it's not who I am. Morning has finally come, all my worries are undone. Wounded but stronger than before, morning clears the sky once more. Morning has finally come, shadows vanish in the sun. A new beginning now I'm sure, morning clears the sky once more. I don't ask
Then the next song is Purple Flowers, which she wrote. It was about inspired by her mother, who was being treated for cancer. You know, and her worrying about her mother and worried there were maybe some things that she wasn't telling her and stuff like that. It's another really great song. See, Mama, Mama, have you found a way out of the pain? Is it, or is it still the same? Are you hurting? Is there something that you're not telling me? How are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? And then the next song is The Swing. This is another one with lyrics by the person who wrote those the lyrics for those few songs on Slore. Down by the lake there is a swing in a tree, up through the leaves there's so much to see. My hand in yours, a promise we made, a roundabout romance, a popcorn parade. Come back, take me back down to the lake. There's a Ferris wheel, it shines so bright, a carnival of light. Your laughter is a dance from low to high, this never-ending night. And the last song is Stories. This is one of those songs that make you wonder if it was based on something that really happened. Something apparently kind of unpleasant, and kind of it's pretty positive kind of album up to this point, and this song kind of ends it on a bit of a down note, but it's a really good song. See, there are stories that should never be told, even if they speak the truth. I wish I never knew. There are words you should never have said. You cannot take them back. You didn't even think them through. How I wish I never knew. And the last one in this bunch is God dang it. It's Paul McCartney, New, released on October 14th, 2013. Reached number 3 on the Billboard charts. I think I picked this up at Walmart probably a few months after it came out, actually. originally my sort of fifth favorite McCartney album was actually an album that many McCartney fans apparently really dislike. It was Driving Rain. And I, when I first compiled this sort of list a few years back, I was listening to that album quite a lot, and I think that's kind of why it wound up in there. I kind of like it's one of his. I think it's kind of one of his more eclectic albums in a way. It's got, well, anyway, but I started reading listener reviews and stuff, and watching people on YouTube talking about it, and really kind of talking about what a bad album it is, and I was like, why? And I kind of started thinking about it, and I realized, there probably are some kind of issues with it. I mean, the lyrics are kind of, I think McCartney actually said himself they were kind of sort of made up on the spot kind of lyrics. I mean, I know on From a Lover to a Friend, I think he kind of mumbles some of the lyrics like they weren't even really set in stone when he recorded them. But I mean, I still really like the album though. But and as I was this is just a few months ago when I was thinking about all this, and I started thinking, that album that he put out a couple of years ago, New, that was a pretty good album. I bought it a few months after it came out, but I only listened to it a couple of times, but I really liked it. So I thought I'd go back and listen to that again. After some years of not listening to it, and I realized, yeah, it's a really good album, and yeah, I think it kind of is better than Driving Rain. So it is now my fifth favorite album by Paul McCartney. But of course, the problem now is kind of the same problem I have with A Moon-Shaped Pool, is that I've only listened to it a few times. So I don't know if I'm going to have an awful lot to say about it. I'll have to do what I did with that one, and I think I'll have to kind of go through and listen to the songs individually while I'm making the video and kind of see what I can come up with. First song on here is called Save Us. I don't know, it's a really good song. It's just kind of short and sweet, and kind of a punchy little pop rock song. And I can try to give you everything you ever wanted. You're not hard to please, and the only thing I'm asking in return is something you can give with ease. Keep on sending your love. In the heat of battle, you've got something that'll save us now. And the next song is Alligator. It's got kind of a unique kind of production feel to it, because each of the songs on this album has its own kind of distinct sound to it. Of course, he worked with different producers on different songs, I think. So some pretty interesting lyrics. I want someone who can save me when I come home from the zoo. I need somebody who's a sweet communicator I can give my alligator to. And the next song is called On My Way to Work. And this one, the melody is really kind of more like his older songs, the Beatles, and his early solo stuff, and Wings, his early Wings tunes, that kind of stuff. Really interesting lyrics on this one. On my way to work, I rode a big green bus. I could see everything from the upper deck. People came and went, smoking cigarettes. I picked the packets up when the people left. Later on, there's in the second verse is, on my way to work, I bought a magazine. Inside, a pretty girl liked to water ski. She came from Chichester to study history. She had removed her clothes for the likes of me. But all the time I thought of you. How would you know that I was there? How could a soul search everywhere without knowing what to do? One I think is probably my favorite song on here, Queenie Eye. I think it's definitely the catchiest song on it. And I think he said that it was inspired by the kind of rhyming games that kids play. See what Queenie eye, who's got the ball? I haven't got it. It isn't in my pocket. OUT spells out. That's out without a shadow of a doubt. Because you've been putting it about. Hear the people shout. Pretty cool video for it as well. I think I'm going to play a little bit of it. It's called Early Days, and this is, it's one about McCartney's early days, his days with the Beatles, before they hit the big time, and I heard him talking about this one, especially the final verse, talking about people who say, but this happened and this happened. And he said, no, that's not what happened. That's not the way it happened. And but so and so article or whatever said that this is what happened. No, that's not what happened. This is what happened, dude. I was there. So you get the lyric. Now everybody seems to have their own opinion who did this and who did that. But as for me, I don't see how they can remember when they weren't where it was at. And they can't take it from me if they try. I lived through those early days. So many times I had to change the pain to laughter just to keep from getting crazed. I lived through those early days. It's a really great kind of acoustic song. With Paul singing's really good on it. It's kind of a little bit kind of deeper than he usually goes. Kind of earthy kind of vocal feel on it. The next song is New, title track, and this is probably the most sort of Beatlesque song on here. I really love this song. It's a really good song. Kind of around that sort of 67 period, Sgt. Pepper Magical Mystery Tour, that the kind of melodies that he was writing around that time, it kind of has that kind of feel to it for me. Look at me, it's way too soon to see what's gonna be. Don't look at me. All my life I never knew what I could be, what I could do. Then we were new. You came along and made my life a song. One lucky day you came along, just in time while I was searching for a rhyme. You came along. Then we were new. Then we move on to side 2. The first song is Appreciate, which has a really cool sound to it. I may have to play a clip of this one too, because I don't think I can really describe how this song sounds. Lift up your head and remember what your life is. Don't have to give it all away. When you're left for dead in the middle of a crisis, you must appreciate the day. Is called Everybody Out There. It's kind of one of Paul's sort of almost kind of patented sort of call to action songs. Hey, everybody out there, you know what it's like if you haven't got a life. When you haven't got a life, hey, do you want to make a difference? Well, stand in a line. If you haven't got the time, I can give you some of mine. There but for the grace of God go you and I. We're the brightest objects in the sky. There but for the grace of God go you and I. Do some good before you say goodbye. Hosanna. It's one of the more subtle melodies on the album. I really like the song. It's a good song. Let's see. If you believe it, you can stay all night. Hide in the darkness till it's getting light. Do everything until we've got it done. Then sing Hosanna to the morning sun. Hosanna, Hosanna. Sing Hosanna to the morning sun. So the next song is called I Can Bet. This is probably got the kind of the sauciest lyrics on the album. Come and feel it, we can give it a go, but if you'd rather not know, I won't reveal it. Because what I'm going to do next, I leave entirely to your imagination. I can bet, I can bet, I can bet you'll never guess. I can bet, I can bet, I can bet that you'll never guess. And the next song, Looking at Her, is kind of a pretty little song. Got some kind of electronic and acoustic elements. Probably about his wife Nancy. Everybody's looking at her. She's got everybody talking about her. She's good, she's kind, she's so refined, but me, I'm losing my mind. Then the next song is Road, which is supposed to be the last song on the album. It's a pretty dramatic kind of dark feel. It's got this kind of feeling of kind of out on a deserted highway in the middle of the night kind of feel. Some really good use of the lower end of the keys on the piano on it. And it would be a really great way to end the album, except it's not the end. No, that is not the end, because there is a hidden track. It's called Scared, and from what I understand, it does appear on all editions of the album, including the vinyl. It's just pretty much just Paul singing and on piano. It's kind of maybe kind of the most vulnerable kind of tune on the album. Let's see. I'm scared to say I love you, afraid to let you know that the simplest of words won't come out of my mouth, though I'm dying to let them go, trying to let you know. I have to say I'm sorry, don't feel sad for me, but the beautiful birds won't fly out of their cage, though I'm trying to set them free. But then, if you have the special edition CD, then that's not the end either. Actually, it is the end, because it's it's still a hidden track at the end of that edition too, but there are actually 2 more songs that come before it. And the first song is called Turned Out. It's a nice little tune, nice little pop tune. I mean, there's probably a reason why it's not on the main version of the album, you know, but it's still a pretty nice little tune. Some nice use of bells. I think they're tubular bells in the middle section of it. I took a trip into the ocean. High emotion filled me with desire. I had to see what I was fighting that kept inviting me to take it higher. Well, looking back, it didn't hurt me. It did something for my soul. It taught me when you find a love, don't break it, try to make it whole. Then the next song is the other extra track is Get Me Out of Here, which is considerably different from all the other songs on here. It's kind of a bluesy acoustic song, and some pretty interesting lyrics. Kind of, I get a feeling when they call my name, feels like we're all involved in some kind of game. Oh boy, get me out of here. Oh boy, let me out of here. I hear the tax man knocking at my door. I've got a feeling he'll be asking for more. Oh boy, get me out of here. Oh boy, someone get me out of here. And I think at some point it references the so-called reality show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. But anyway, that's all the songs on this album. Well, and that's it for this bunch. And I guess I'll talk to you next time. Bye.